Please give it up, Detroit, for Josh Johnson!
There was one day I went to visit my grandma, and there was like a big old like living room type area where people be watching TV or just chatting or reading a book or whatever. And there was, do y'all remember the commercials for like a Rascal? If you don't know what a Rascal was, it was some direct-to-consumer marketing that was going on TV where you were old and you were in your little chair, but they made it feel like a motorcycle. They made you feel like you could really hit that throttle on them, right? And then you could go off-road with the Rascal too. Like you could just be going over tree trunks and stuff like that without tipping and stuff. And so there was a guy who looked like he had a new Rascal, right? And it wasn't going fast for us. Like if you could walk, it wasn't going fast. But if you were in a wheelchair and you hit that throttle, you zooming, right? And so you could tell he couldn't really handle it because his head was back while he was. So my man's head was like all the way back. Like he really couldn't look up, and which is crazy because I swear he was going this fast. Like, but my man is like, right? It was incredible. My man is just, you know, and I'm sure in his mind, you know, because everything slows down a little bit as you get older, and now you go in walking speed again, and you haven't been walking for a while. So now all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is what I did when I was back in my 80s, right? So, because I don't know how old he was, but he was dusty, right? He was, you know what I'm talking about. Don't do that. I'm not being mean. It's just, at a certain age, no matter who you are, at a certain age, once you hit those like 90, like once you get up in the 9 in the front of the number for your age, there's just a level of like, there's a level of ashy that is time. Y'all want to act like y'all know what I'm talking about, but y'all know that sometimes people get flaky. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Anyway, so my man is zooming, right? He like and then on the other side of this corner leading to the living room is this other guy who's like in a proper wheelchair, but it has like some little modifications. So I guess it's not a traditional wheelchair. Like he's not fully pushing it himself, but it looks like it has like some little levers on it. I don't know what it was, but it felt like a knockoff Rascal. Like it felt, you know what I mean? Like it felt like somebody sold him some damaged goods where they were like, no, it's a Rascal. He's like, I don't see the throttle anywhere. Just keep looking. It's a Rascal. And so he's going like really, really slow. And as they're getting closer, you know those math problems? You know those math problems where like if a train, you know what I'm talking about, right? If a train leaves Detroit at 5, going 60 miles per hour, and then a train leaves Louisiana going 80 miles per hour at 7 o'clock, when will they crash? Because then even in school, they'd be like, when will it crash? I'd be like, this is a dark. Why can't it just be a delivery or something? You wrote the textbook and you put in crash. Now I gotta figure out when everybody's gonna die. I'm not even allowed to warn them in this scenario. But anyway, basically this dude has like, he's kind of turning the wheel, but it looks like it's assisted somehow, and the other guy's zooming, and then I'm standing at the corner and I'm like, who do I try to warn? Because in my head for a second I was like, they gonna miss each other because this guy's going way too fast. And then I realized that he going fast for him. He going walking speed for us, and then this other guy is going nowhere. Very, very slow, right? And then, I'm not proud of it, but it took me so long to make a decision because I was bad at math. It took me so long to make a decision that they did collide. When they both got past the corner, the fast one hit the slow one, and he tipped. And he didn't tip. This is the worst part, actually. So he didn't tip, like his chair didn't tip, right? He just tipped from getting hit, and then he fell the rest of the way out. But while he was falling, he was hanging on. Like while he was falling, he was like, no! So he's screaming no, like he don't want to fall. And to be honest, I had time to get to him, but I was just so shocked that this was happening. And so then he kept falling to the point where one foot was on the ground now. I was like, ooh, you should stand. You could stand up. There's still time to stand up. But then he had tipped like booty over knee, and then he was hanging, and then the chair was tipping to the point where I was like, the chair gonna fall on you. And then he just sort of let himself spill, but his butt was already on the ground, but he was still screaming like he was in the air. And then he finally let go of the little handle that was at the front, and then he laid back. And I was like, I probably could have done something. Because to be fair, it was going to happen whether I was watching or not. That moment had nothing to do with me. I was just a witness. And that's how I felt about the debate last night. Because whether you watched it or you didn't watch it, okay, I watched the whole thing. I watched it top to bottom, and okay. Everything happened that we, figured might happen. But this is the thing that I guess I can't get over. It happened so quickly. We were worried that like maybe an hour in, Biden might have like a senior moment or something. But he said, no, I'm gonna start slow, and I'm gonna ratchet up. Because early, maybe second question, maybe first question, I can't remember. But he said something. And he was kind of trying to get through it. And when he was trying to get through it, he started looking down while he was trying to get through it. And then he stopped talking. I don't know if there's been a deeper silence in my life than when that man stopped talking. It was still his turn. He had stopped saying anything. And while he was not talking, I was talking. Like while he had been like, right? Like once he got here, when he was looking down, I was like, fall! Just fall! You'll clear this whole thing out if you fall right now. This man has had the nerve to fall every day. Except that day there. I'm yelling at the screen, fall! If that man had fallen, we'd be having a different conversation right now, right? If he had fallen, they would have scooped him up on a stretcher. It would have been like, look, the president had a great answer ready, but gravity is a Republican, so the odds were stacked against him. He's brave for even showing up against that red Republican elephant ass gravity. Oh, it was insane. I felt like I was going crazy because this is the thing that's infuriating, right? And I'll probably come back to it in a second, but the thing that I cannot get out of my head is that we all knew, and everything that happened is what we said would happen, and now pundits are talking to us on TV, on like legacy media, talking about what happened the way that we talk about what was gonna happen before it happened, and they want to convince us that they're worth watching. You ever tell somebody a story and then time passes and then one day they try to tell you your story like you didn't tell them the story, and you look at them like either you crazy or you think I'm crazy because I told you that. You're not bringing me any new information. That's what it feels like. It's like after the debate, I watched the after debate, and they were like, you know, he is older. These are the same people, by the way, who have been like, no, we have to chase him around the White House. We can barely keep up with them. And I knew they were lying then. Because that's the thing. It's like he did so poorly. It fully distracts from the fact that Trump didn't do well either. But you know how, okay. One time, I was with some friends, and we were headed to a party. We get there, and there's like two more friends that we're waiting on, and one of them is supposed to bring all the drinks, right? And one of my friends had already poured out a beer, was drinking his beer, and when we were stepping outside, because it was like an outdoor in front of the house sort of event, we're all on the lawn and everything, we see one of our friends who was supposed to bring the drinks, right, crash right into a light pole, right? And right when he crashed into the light pole, we all screamed, and a couple people ran over there, and then my friend who had poured the beer was like, oh my God, I dropped my drink, right? On its own, not good. In reference to something much bigger happening, nobody ended up caring, right? And that's how it felt. Like, it's insane. Like we are not crazy. We're not crazy, they're crazy. You know what I mean? We're not crazy, they're crazy. We said it already. They're crazy, they just don't listen. They don't listen. How do you not listen when it's everybody saying it? You know? Like, there was one time in particular where Biden was struggling to say something. And even Trump, even Donald Jail Trump, looked at Biden, and you could see it on his face. He was like, is this motherfucker all right? And you can tell because I'd never seen this on Trump's face ever. Trump had an actual eyebrow arc of concern. I've never seen him have that ever. He's never looked as phased to me as when he was looking at Biden next to him going, is it? Like, it wasn't an act. Trump was genuinely wincing, which concerns me because he was the closest to him, which means something worse was going on in person close to him than what we even saw. We think we up close because the camera's zooming in. No, Trump hears him fighting to breathe. It felt so terrible. It felt like when you're a kid, when you're a little kid, and you get into it with another little kid, and they're bullying you, right? And you tell that kid, my dad could beat your dad. And then maybe you go home, and maybe you go home with a shiner, maybe you go home with some cuts and bruises, and your dad asks what happened. And you're like, hey, this kid's been bullying me, right? And I tried to tell my teacher, and she didn't do anything. And so your dad's like, okay, I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna go to school tomorrow, we're gonna sort this out. And maybe he goes to pick you up and settle things up with the teacher right when the bully's dad comes and tries to settle things up with the teacher too, because his kid told him a different story, you know? His kid told him, hey, this kid's school's being a bitch, so I had to hold him down and everything. And the teacher is like, look, everyone's here, maybe we can mediate. And so they do that thing that schools do where they don't really know how to help. You know what I mean? They're just like, if you could stop, that'd be great. Or not, I didn't see it, so whatever. But don't fight, because we have a zero tolerance policy on violence, so even if you fight back, you're gonna get expelled, you know what I mean? So then, now it's just you and this kid that you know bullies you, and then him and his dad teaching him his ways, and your dad teaching you his ways, and now they're outside, you know? And maybe your dad tries to have a heart-to-heart with the other dad, because both two dads of kids, and so he says to him, he's like, hey, look, can you... It was 1969. And then the bully dad goes, is this motherfucker all right? Like, it felt crazy. Because we knew. And we didn't know this exact thing would happen, but we knew we didn't feel good, and we knew we didn't feel good for months. You know what I mean? Before there was ever a debate. When we just knew it was going to be an election, we didn't feel good. That should tell everyone something. Not feeling good about an election that isn't even going to happen for another year, because we knew who the contenders were early on, right? Some people tried to run the Republican Party and they got washed, right? But we knew it was going to be Trump, and we knew it was going to be Biden for a very long time, and we didn't feel good since last year. And no one took that to heart, Republican or Democrat. People did not feel good, right? You ever get cold feet a year before the wedding? Because if so, maybe you shouldn't do it, you know? Maybe they're not the one. We're not crazy, they're crazy. You understand that, right? Like, it's not us. It's not us at all. Because, you know, we have eyes and ears and we use them or whatever. And that's the other thing that really stuck out to me is that, you know, no one really talks about Trump's performance because of Biden's, but Trump didn't do that well. There was a lot of like open lying to the point where where do you do in that situation? Like, everyone was kind of trashing the moderators for not doing some live fact checking in the moment. Sure, but what do you do when somebody lies that much, and how they lied, right? Because this is the thing. We found out last night that the tactics work. Trump lies fast. He talks so fast that when you hear the lie, you're like, but he didn't stutter, so it sounded kind of true. Like, I know it's not right because I was there. Because that's the other thing. He'll be lying about stuff that we were here. Like, we all remember him being president. We were here. So don't tell me it was different. I was then. And Biden, I'm assuming, is trying to tell the truth. He's saying something. But we found it that, like, you know, a fast lie beats an unintelligible truth. It does. Even in your personal lives, it does. Let's say you out with friends, right? Out with friends, and then let's say, you've been bad. You've been terrible even. You did a little cheating, right? And then you get caught. And now they're holding the cell phone in front of you and they're like, who is this, right? And then you say, who is it? How am I supposed to know everybody that's in my phone? Do you know everybody that's in your phone? That's crazy. People got contacts in their phone all the time they don't remember. Sometimes I go through my phone and I look at my contacts and I'm like, who are these people? Who are any of these people? It's a lie that almost sounds kind of fairly true. Like, do you remember every contact in your phone all the time? No. Or let's say you were out and somebody tried to get you to be bad. They tried to get you. Try to get you to do some cheating. And you were like, no, I don't want to cheat. No, I love them. Get away from me, right? But later, let's say later, unbeknownst to you, one of your friends thinking they're doing you a favor or maybe playing around or playing too much, right? They hand your phone to that person and that person puts their number in your phone, right? So now when your partner is holding the phone up to you, who is this in your phone? What's this number? And you try to tell the truth and you go, I was like, Because before, in 1969, because what do we do now? What's the plan? You know what I mean? What's the plan? Are we just gonna move on like nothing happened? Or are we gonna just hope for the best? What's really the plan? Because we're acting as if there aren't other people that can run. And we're acting that way because of the circular thinking. Because look, legacy media, sometimes I trash them. People in the DNC, sometimes I trash them. But the thing that they weren't wrong about is the reasoning that lets you land where you were before. It's not lazy. It's not out of not caring. It's out of not having a belief and knowing your options. That's what happens. And it happened to both parties, by the way, right? It happened in both scenarios where there were people in the national conventions of these parties not really sure where to go from here. And so you go with what worked last time, even if it's not going to work this time, you know? And I think it's tough. It's tough when you have something like that, right? Something where unequivocally we can all look at it and be like, yes, the man is old and maybe it wasn't his night, but this looks very bad and it does not inspire confidence in us. It doesn't inspire confidence in the people that we want to vote for this man, if nothing else so the other man can't win, or because we really believe in the policies and the actions of this man, right? It doesn't help. And then you have people who are those could-be contenders, right? Because there's a conspiracy theory that I'd like to believe. And I'll share it with you, but I have no evidence for what I'm saying. There's a conspiracy that they wanted this debate. People in the DNC want this debate to be before the convention so that if he didn't perform well, there'd be time to rally behind someone else and replace him. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it looks like a setup. It looked like... looks like a setup if I ever seen one. Like, you know? Because the idea that he was at Camp David prepping for this debate for a week and that they actually made him prep, because he was hoarse. Why is this man hoarse? It's because they had him really talking like he was going to be out there dunking on Trump instead of just giving him a week-long nap. Let that man rest. Y'all worked him so hard he showed up with a cold. set him up to fail, right? Because who else could it be, you know? Some people say Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom's a tough one, though, because then, right after the debate, Gavin Newsom goes up there and does a full-on Ron DeSantis. Because remember when Ron DeSantis was running against Trump, he just didn't want to say Trump's name yet. He was like, I'm not running yet or whatever. And then it finally got time for them to run and he announced. And then he had a little bit of momentum, but then he had to go toe-to-toe with Trump and he didn't know how to do it. So he got aired out in front of everybody, right? I think Gavin Newsom had similar ideas. He was like, look, I'm going to support the president this time. I'm going to be in everybody's good graces. I'll run in 2028, right? But if there's ever a time, it's now. And it doesn't help when he goes on TV right after the debate and tries to negate everything that we just saw. Because it makes me trust him less. You know what I mean? When they're asking him, how do you feel about his performance? I mean, he's like, oh, come on, everyone has an off night. That's happened to everybody. I've been alive for a while. That has not happened to me. You know? Or you get Gretchen Whitmer. Gretchen. You know what I like about Gretchen Whitmer? Gretchen Whitmer would be good because Gretchen Whitmer, they already tried to kidnap her. So They already tried to kidnap her, so that already right there is like that's a die of January 6th right there. So she has some experience, like when they come, you know what
I mean? Okay, so you've been farted on. Gotta say, that's a first great reason. It's a first great reason to hate dining outside New York. Mm-hmm. Is there any other reason? Because you keep talking about the elements. Has anything happened to you elements-wise?
This did not happen to me because I was inside.
Okay.
But I saw outside that a bike messenger, at least he looked like a bike. He could have been seamless. But a bike messenger completely totaled a table. So he was not looking.
No.
And like this dude, okay, I don't know. I don't even know if I should be laughing about this because everybody seemed genuinely hurt. But he basically, this guy was coming out of nowhere. And in New York, there are bike lanes, but there aren't enough bike lanes. And the bike lanes aren't everywhere. So sometimes.
Yeah, they're not consistent.
Yeah. So sometimes someone, especially if you have a certain route, as a cyclist, you get on the sidewalk. Mm-hmm. This person clearly was turning from a street with a bike lane to a street without one, and was not looking ahead, was probably looking sideways or maybe looking for the bike lane or whatever where it was going to continue. Because
behind them, they're being chased.
To be fair, there was a van. Like this is what ended up happening. There was a bike lane, right? This person was in the bike lane. At the turn, like at the intersection, there's a parked van that they would have either had to turn more into the road to pass or mount the sidewalk to pass, okay?
Gotcha, yeah.
When they mounted the sidewalk, whether they were looking at the van or whether they were looking to see if the bike lane was there, they mounted the sidewalk and then just completely ate up this couple that was sitting at a table outside.
Damn.
Like it was really bad.
That's like the person, that's like a movie stunt.
Yeah, like the person on the bike went flying first, right?
Oh, no.
So the person on the bike went flying. Then the person that they sort of flew over just slid more onto the table. Then the person that they flew into fell back with them. And so the person that they flew over that's like pushed into the table just falls sideways. So then all the food falls on that person. But it was one of those things that when you see it, you immediately think that the the cyclist is in the wrong, but then you see the van and you're like, all right, well, I don't think that should be there because no one was in it.
Oh,
Someone just parked their van, like, you know, kind of in the intersection almost.
But yeah, like,
just imagine you're at a restaurant and the table explodes.
I was gonna say, like, yes, it sounds bad. It sounds like everyone got hurt, but golly, I bet that'd be great to see.
Look.
Oh man, that'd be so awesome to see. Sounds really bad. I hope everyone was okay.
Can you imagine? Okay, this is what it looked like. Do you remember the Spider-Man movie from 2001? Maybe the one with Tobey Maguire, the first,
the
one?
original Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah,
the original Spider-Man. Remember, I think it's in the first one or it may be the second one, where Mary Jane's talking, his spidey sense tingles, and then he grabs her, and because Doc Ock, it must be a second one, because Doc Ock throws the car into the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine that, but if nobody moved. Because the cyclist came crashing into them, and there was no superhero sequence where they dodged anything. Every plate hit them, the cutlery hit them, every knee was scraped. Like it just everyone flew too much. Everyone, because the cyclist flew so much that I was like, let's make sure he's moving. You know what I mean?
Was this a scene for something? Was this a stunt chase that happened here?
Yeah, and then the person who got hit from the back, they fell like Family Guy style because they also had
like a bent knee and
okay. So not only
they always have that arm hanging like behind them or whatever.
Yeah. So for the people just listening, just imagine a person is on the ground and a table is sideways, but the tablecloth is on them, like tucking them in. The tablecloth has fallen on them with the plates. And they're not moving right away. Everybody is as hurt as they are surprised. Dude, this was like genuinely, I thought I had seen
a death? You thought?
Yeah. I thought I had genuinely seen someone like messed up for real. We're
always flirting with it.
Yeah.
The Josh Johnson show, flirting with the afterlife. That's how we are.
Because the way that everyone fell had to be like the sloppiest way you could fall. Because also these weren't like young people.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like these weren't.
I do know what you're saying, and that's the last detail that I didn't want.
Dude, that like these people look like they only got two of those hits in them.
Even the cyclist was an elderly man.
He wasn't that old, but he was like old enough that you don't want him to fall off his bike at all, right? he didn't look like Biden on a bike, but he looked close, you know?
Yeah.
And so then the fact that the force that everyone got hit with and the fact that everybody flew, you know what it did to me though, why it was so scary for me is actually because of a misconception that I had. So growing up,
bikes were made of knives.
What?
I said that bikes were made of knives.
No.
It's a misconception you had. Jokes.
I've watched a lot of Law & Order SVU, right? And in one episode of Law & Order SVU, the way that they start the episode is this bike messenger who has been hired by a disgruntled parent who didn't get custody to kidnap his kid back, right? Tries to do that at the beginning of the episode. So the beginning of the episode is them in a park with a grandma and a kid, and then a guy grabs the kid and is trying to like run and get away, puts the kid on his bike. The kid's like, grandma. He's pedaling on the bike and he's got some speed, and then just crashes into the grandma hard, right? Now, later on in that episode, they kill the grandma, okay? So later on in the episode, they're like, oh, Nana didn't make it, right? So then I was like, man, can a person be on a bike fast enough to kill you, you know? And so when I saw that, even though I know that they'd have to be going Usain Bolt kicking levels fast to kill you, I still had a flashback of when I was younger and that bike messenger hit that old woman and she died in the episode. So when I saw the like table explode, because also like food is hitting the window. Right. So like there's little like dips that have hit the window and you're not sure what's sauce and what's blood, you know? Because you're like, did these people just explode? Because I can't see everyone.
I just love that you had like, you had a flashback to a TV show.
Yeah,
because
dude, I thought these people could die. I thought that
you have PTSD about SUV, huh? Don't get mad.
But you said the vehicle.
Oh, I did say the vehicle.
Yeah.
We'll go again. PTSD from SVU. I think it's because SUV sounded better rhyme.
It does rhyme, yeah.
I think that's why my brain did it.
That's why I almost didn't say anything.
Yeah. PTSDVU.
Jeez. But yeah, no, they like
Miami.
They got that was like hard to watch.
And
in my head I was like, man, this is why one of the other reasons why dying out. And I've actually, I don't know who I've told this story to. I think this is the first time I'm telling that story and it's to you because I don't think I've ever told Sally about that.
You were really traumatized by that episode of Law and Order SVU.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really supports the channel. Hit the bell notification because apparently it's the only way YouTube will tell you that something happened. And just tell a friend. That's the biggest thing you could do. Just tell one person in your life that you like, maybe you don't like, that this video happened to you.
We release the podcast every Thursday on all the podcast apps, so you should find us there and subscribe on those and comment and leave reviews and whatever on all of them. And also, if you want bonus stuff, you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/Josh Johnson Show. We have bonus podcasts and videos and stuff there, and we'd love to see you.
Cool. How y'all doing? Everybody good? Sweet. I was reading this news story from Australia where this woman has finally been charged in connection with the death of 3 people. She's been charged for murder of 3 people who died after they ate lunch at a lunch party she threw. And when they arrested her, she was like, how am I supposed to know what's poison and what's not poison? You know what I mean? Like, it could be anything. Why couldn't the meal be so good that they died? Did anybody think of that? And the more that I read about the story, it was baffling. So it turns out just about everybody at the lunch party were her ex-husband's relatives. So yeah, I think you might have done it. Wow, that's crazy. I know some of y'all out here love staying friends with your exes and stuff, but if I ever have an ex-wife and one day, randomly in July, she's like, how about you and your whole family come and eat a meal I cook while I watch? I'm gonna have to decline on the poisoning. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't care. I don't care what type of apple flavors you make it. You're not killing me, okay? You know. And the only reason the husband's still alive is at the last minute he couldn't make it. So he was also gonna be there, and then he was like, sorry, got held up at work. Then he lived. That feels crazy, you know. They say revenge is a dish best served beef Wellington. And I loved it though, because it was such a weird story. And then imagine your alibi being like, y'all know I can't cook. Like, what is your plan here, man? You all ever have that person in your life that's like, the dumbest person you know. Like, just top to bottom, you're like, how are you still alive? You know what I mean? You just won't even understand how they function. You know, it's like, you made it this far, and yesterday couldn't have been easier than today. How do you keep racking up days consecutively? I know a dude that, I won't even call him a friend. I know a dude that is the most unsuccessful drug dealer I've ever met in my life. This is absolutely astounding. How do you fail at selling drugs to people who very much want drugs? Like, they would like drugs very much until they meet you. That is crazy. What kind of bad vibes are you putting out that someone on crack is like, you know what? I'll wait. That's insanity. How'd you take the urgency out of drugs? It's truly wild. I've never seen anything like it. He honestly cleaning up the streets. Everybody he tries to sell to don't want it. I'm like, you making the neighborhood safer by the day. You really need to work for the DARE program or the police. Somebody where you can make money by being bad at what you do. It's astounding. I told him, I was like, you need to do something else with your life. This is clearly not your calling, all right? You know, because when you're good at selling drugs, if you're good enough, they'll make movies about you, they'll make TV shows about you. His movie would be 8 minutes. It would be him haggling for the price of meth with somebody and then them being like, you know what, keep it, and then just walking away. I told him, I was like, you need to do something else, and he got all defensive. You know, he was like, you putting it all on me. It's not all me, you know? This dude actually said to me, he's like, can I borrow a couple dollars till I get paid? I'm like, there's no payroll. Like, you sell drugs and you'll be paid. I'm not giving you money, because then you'll literally have to pay me back with drug money. That's insane. Now I'm part of the operation. I don't want to have anything to do with this. He's always so defensive, like, you putting it all on me. It's not all me, okay? It's this economy. I'm like, no, you don't get to say that. No one smoking crack is saving up for a house. It's devastating. I also had, okay. Y'all know what the ick is, right? Okay, in case you don't know what the ick is, in case you don't have TikTok, the ick is when you are infatuated with someone. You really like them, and then they do something. It's usually something innocuous, something that's very particular. And then it just turns you off. You lose that infatuation, and hence the ick. You don't want to be with them anymore. Like if you went on a date with someone, and then on the date, they were eating, and they were like slurping their soup extra hard, and now you don't want to be with a whole person because they use their mouth. You know what I mean? Like, everyone always talks about what their ick is, you know? Or what they don't like, what gave them the ick. But nobody ever talks about being the ick. Have you noticed that? It's like, it's always about what bothers me. It's never people just admitting that they did something. Like, I'll be vulnerable for a second. I've been the ick before. And there's nothing like watching yourself be the ick in the woman's face. It's the saddest, it's genuinely horrible, because it's like, once again, I'm not a bad person. I'm not doing anything crazy or gross. I'm just, I did whatever I did, and now we both like, oh, yeah. I give you some examples. I used to live in Chicago, right? And when I lived there, I was, my life was not great. I don't know, I was very broke. I remember I had gone on this date, and the date was fantastic. We had a great time. She even came back to my place. We're sitting on my bed. She's clearly going to spend the night. It's definitely about to happen. But I had work in the morning, so I just wanted to make sure that I had set my alarm for work and that I plugged my phone in so it didn't die, right? But the way that my bed was, the way that my bed was, the plug for the outlet was slightly behind the bed, okay? So now I'm trying to reach and plug it in, but I'm also trying to maintain this eye contact, this vibe that we have going. So now I'm trying to plug it in, but I'm not looking and I can't find it, right? And so I'm just watching her slowly get more and more disappointed as I'm trying to plug this in, and I can't, and I'm talking my game too. I'm like, I'm about to tear it up, girl. One second, you about to get it. At one point, I think I even said, "Come on!" And it just killed the vibe. It really did, because you just looking at me, and she didn't say it, but you could see on her face, it's like, you're not too good at plugging stuff into sockets. That's not good foreshadowing, you know what I mean? I think let's just watch a movie or something. And I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to get my confidence back up, you know? It took me a while to get my life together. And once I did, once I was more put together and I moved my bed, I put myself back out there. And so I went on a first date with this young lady, and we were gonna go to dinner and a movie. And then on the way to dinner, I pushed a pull door, all right? And like, and there's no quicker way to look like you have an iron deficiency in front of a woman than to push a pull door. Because I had overcommitted, because I'm trying to be a gentleman, right? I'm trying to open the door for her, let her walk in first and everything. So I gave a little push. That we were talking, I gave a little push. I was like, maybe it just needs extra pressure. So I leaned into it a little bit more, and when it wouldn't budge, I was like, maybe I need two hands. And so now so now I'm square with the wall, right? And I'm pushing. And then I had pushed so hard that I started slipping. So I was sliding down as I was pushing. And right when my forehead hit the wall, like hit the door, I saw that in little print it said pull. But who puts pull in fine print? That's crazy. And so I opened the door and she walked in. She was sweet. She tried to ignore it and everything. But then it went to the movie and I pulled a push. And like this one, I didn't pull as long as I had pushed the other one, so it wasn't as embarrassing. But it's just like I really tugged hard. Like I didn't put my foot up on or anything, but I was just like, I tugged hard. Your first date is supposed to be you getting to know a person. You know what I mean? And so now I could tell I gave her the ick because we were having a good time outside of those two situations. But then she was like, in her mind, I think maybe she was like, he's sweet, but he don't understand doors. And it's like, how do you? And it was embarrassing, but it's like, and I don't know if I should bring it up and address it or if I should just let it go or something. But she saw it both times, like she was waiting to get in, like. So it's not like something she could just ignore. So now, and I wanted to be like, look, I understand. I got a door in my room, like that's. But then she was looking at me after like when we went in the movie, like the rest of the date, she was looking at me like I was slow. And then I was like, I got a door in my room, which does make me sound slow. Like just, I got a door in my room. Like that sounds crazy because it's like, am I talking about a closet or am I talking about the door to my room? And it's just, it was devastating. And I get it. Like, I understand from her perspective, because she doesn't want to be out here dating somebody that she gotta look out for. Like, I get close to a door and she gotta be like, it's an innie. Like, so I get it. The worst one. Absolute worst one was months later. Okay, so I used to work at a grocery store, right? And I was working one day, and I slipped on some Rogue juice. And so it was a spill in the aisle. I slipped on juice and I fell on my hip. And I fell like that. You know when somebody take like an old fall? Like, you know, like that fall where you like, grandpa got one left. Like it was like that level fall because I fell on pure hip. It was like hip bone, right? And so I was all bruised up and hurting and everything, and I was like limping for some of the day. And then as I was healing up, because I didn't have health insurance, so when you don't have health insurance, you like, I think I just live like this now. You know what I mean? Like because by the next day I was healing up, but my hip was clicking, right? And so it would click whenever I would walk, and when I would sit down, that was 3 clicks right there. And so it was clicking nonstop. And I didn't have health insurance, so I was like, I think I just click now. I think that's just a part of who I am as a person. And so fast forward a couple days later, I'm still hurt, I'm still clicking and everything, but I've been seeing someone, and this was gonna be the first time that we hooked up. And so we're about to have sex, and we start having sex, and I'd gotten so used to the clicks that I wasn't really thinking about them anymore, right? And I had been healing up, so I was like, maybe I don't even click like that. But then we started, and I didn't realize I click on the in and the out. Like I'm clicking nonstop, and it's loud too. It's so loud because I didn't put on any music, so there's no Miguel, there's no R&B to hide behind. It's just the clicks is all you can hear in the room. And I left my bathroom door open, so now I'm getting click echo from because it'll click in the room and click in the bathroom, and there's a click back, right? And I'm trying to put in work, so I'm sounding like a horse on cobble. Like I'm like truly nonstop because I'm really trying. I'm trying to make a good impression. This is our first time hooking up, so I'm like nonstop. And so then she trying to act like she don't hear it. She trying to be polite and everything. She's like, ooh, okay, but she can clearly hear it, you know. And then I'm getting self-conscious, so now I start clicking off rhythm, you know what I mean? It's like, which is just making it worse because it's like it's already bad that you clicking, but if you clicking on the 1 and the 3, everybody knows that this is bad. Now, you know what I mean? And so then I was like, she was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. How you doing? How's it for you? And she was like, we should talk. And I was like, all right, that's never good. And then we sat down. She's like, are you like okay? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm fine. I just fell. It was some Rogue juice in the aisle, and I fell. And then she was like, well, how about we try me on top? And so we did, and then that did not help at all because now it was just, it was louder clicks because there was more pressure, right? So now it was like, it felt like it was her clicks, you know what I mean? Like now she sounded like a full Paul Revere, right? Like, because she was riding me, but she's also like nonstop. And it was devastating. It was so bad. And that's the only person that's ever ghosted me where I was like, I understand. I get it. I think I even texted her afterwards, like, hey, I understand. Like a month after she stopped hearing my text message, I just texted her one last time, like, I understand. Like, it's horrible. I don't know if y'all saw the news, but the orcas are at it again. Orcas, if you haven't seen it, the orcas, killer whales, are out here sinking yachts. They just ramming the yachts until they sink and everything. And who would have thought that the orcas would be the ones to step up? Like, yeah, I mean, like, rich people just be rich in our faces all the time on land. And then they went into the water, and the orcas were like, not my hood, dog. Like, crazy. I wish orcas had thumbs so bad, just because I would just want them to throw up gang signs with their fins. All day. There's the most recent one this yacht that was going through the Strait of Gibraltar, and these orcas attacked it for 45 minutes, which must be terrifying because, like, I would hate to get killed by an orca because it's like their echolocation, the noises that they make are so close to dolphins. Like, just imagine you being murdered in the water and all you hear is like, gang, gang. This is terrible. Tearing you up. It's horrific, you know? But they rammed the boat for 45 minutes and then finally it started to sink. Now, I was reading more about the story. It turns out there was no rich guy on that yacht. That yacht was just like in transit. So then when it capsized, the crew was who was in danger. But the orcas didn't attack any of the crew. Crew made it out safe, which does make me think even more that this is a money thing. Like, this is, it's gotta be. You had plenty of people right there to chop up and dice on and nibble up, and you didn't. And I'd like to think that, like, an orca nibbled maybe one of them, it was like, oh, that tastes like work. I need supple. That workman meat too tough. You know what I mean? But y'all have been amazing. Thank you so much.